Martin, all 3 points in the end. We said before the game that was obviously the most important thing, but just give us your thoughts on the match.
Got off to a great start, scored very, very early on, and that was great. I felt as if that we didn't really go and push on, try and get a second goal as early as possible to maybe, at least make Aberdeen think about things. They got back, got the penalty, and then we had to score a really good goal from our viewpoint. Then we had to survive to see whether it was offside or onside, things like this here. But it was a big win for us today, big win. And in terms of confidence building, all that type of stuff, that's great.
Yeah, you're right. It feels like a big win. Before the game, obviously, you're forced into a change with Dane having to drop out and Ben Arthur coming in. Yeah. First of all, can I just ask, how is Dane? And then secondly, how did you think that Arthur acquitted himself?
He was talking about his thigh, which is a real problem now at this minute. And I don't know the prognosis at this minute, but we'll check. And then for Ben to step in, and I thought that obviously he was going to be a bit nervous about the fixture. Hasn't been up here for quite some considerable time, and this was a tough fixture for him to come into. But I thought he did very well, and he saw it through at the end. He made some really decent headers, and that's Colby there, which just gone past.
Giving you a wave.
Colby, don't know. Right, no, I'm just saying about Colby. He's a great lad, he's terrific, and he's coming on, he's just always ready for it, which is great.
Well, you talk about those players coming on, you obviously like Colby, you've segued perfectly there with that little mention, but two other guys who made obviously a big impact coming off the bench were James Forrest and Ben Negrin, who obviously gets the winning goal for us. From your point of view, Martin, how beneficial is it as a manager to turn around and look at the boys behind you and know that you've got players there that can make an impact?
Well, that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping that players can make an impact. Remember, this was our third game in 6 days, so that's every 2 days we're playing matches essentially, and it does take its toll. So we've had to use, the substitutes in positive ways. All of them have come on and in recent times have made big impacts, which is great. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. It's sometimes somebody comes on and just doesn't get into the game. But it's nice to know that we think that we can make some changes anyway, and maybe something might happen from it. So, and I'm obviously delighted. There's a great old spirit about the players, and I don't think that should be denied in many aspects, because sometimes that's what's keeping us going.
Yeah, well, speaking about that spirit and the feeling of positivity, obviously tonight's win lifts us up the table. How satisfying is it to see a sort of material shift, in terms of our position?
Right, so maybe only for a little while, but the 3 points to me are absolutely vital tonight. Even if we had drawn the game, you'd think, you're just, the gap becomes too big, things like this here. Now, there'll be lots of twists and turns, and I'll accept that, But for us to win tonight was very big. I thought it was a difficult game. It proved a really difficult game for us as well too, but we came through it.
Yeah, and now of course we're back to Ibrox this weekend. There's obviously no rest for us. The preparations and the thoughts for that start tonight, basically.
No, our fourth away game now, and which will be essentially about 9 or 10 days. It's been tough in this team. But I think I mentioned to you earlier, we did have the European ties because we actually had made progress in the competition. Now, eventually, that who knows whether that kills you or not? I don't know. But the whole idea of the football club is actually to try and progress and do well in European football. Of course, you have to keep an eye on what's happening at home. But this has been a really strange old season. Well, strange would be a euphemism for it all, because it's. And we've been winning some matches, and you feel as if you've got, just when you think that you're getting close to the edge of the mountain, you feel as if you have to go another step. So that's the way it's felt. That's the way it's felt. Certainly, it's the way it's felt for me.
Yeah, you're not the only one. A strange old season, but a good night certainly for Celtic.
Absolutely.
Well done, Martin. And thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you. Pleasure.